So man, it's your big brother K-Rino. As y'all can see in the title, I'm asking a real important question. And that question is it possible to love the hate out of somebody? Is it possible to love somebody so much that it makes the hate that they have in their heart for you just magically disappear and evaporate in the thin air? That's the question we asking right now. And I'm posing this question because it's important that we address this because a lot of us suffer from this. Um, you could take it in terms of personal relationships. People are in relationships with people who may not necessarily use the word hate, or it may not be just viewed as hate, but it's still a lack of love, an extreme lack of love, and an extreme level of mistreatment. And the person who's receiving that mistreatment, they love that person so much, they feel a certain way about that person, to where they just feel as though if I just keep on just loving him, loving him, loving him, then sooner or later he'll stop beating me. Sooner or later she'll stop dogging me out or mistreating me. And there have been a couple of instances where people change, but for the most part, that's not something that you're going to see too often. And I think about the civil rights movement. I think about when black people were having sit-ins, and they were marching and trying to really really show compassion towards an oppressor that had intentionally constructed a a system that was built on hate, that was built strictly on hatred, and it was intentional. But yet we felt as though if we just stood strong on the foundation of love and showing them how much we love them, and not exchanging, um, not fighting fire with fire, then sooner or later again this magical spell will come over them and they will stop hating us. So is it possible to love the hate out of somebody? If the hate is instilled in you and it's instilled in your nature, instilled in that nature, then nah, it's not gonna happen like that. And my question always is why is it something that you're even fighting for? Why are you even pushing to try to get somebody to love you who clearly has demonstrated that they have no love for you? That's a sickness. Y'all minds are operating on two different tracks, and those tracks will never ever line up the same way. They're just not gonna do it. They're just not gonna do it. But in your heart, you feel as though you're optimistic and feel as though if I just keep continuing on this path of caring and compassion and love, then it's going to transform that person. It's not how it works. Sometimes the hate and the mistreatment that people show for you is a sign to you that you need to move away from those people, or that people. You have to separate yourself from that situation. It's not a sign for you to say, well, just let's love harder. Let's love them harder. It's the old slave turn the other cheek mentality of feeling as though no matter what they do to you, gotta slap you one side, okay, here, now go ahead and get you one on this other side here. Nah, we can't be built like that in 2021 going into 2022. We cannot be built like that. Actually doing that is a form of self-hate. It's a lack of love for self when you subject yourself to that. Because historically, for those who like to argue that, historically it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. So there are people who would like to argue that and say, well, no, you have to just keep on just loving, just keep on loving, and sooner or later, now, history shows that method has not been effective at all. Why do we seek the approval of people who have it in their heart that the planet would be better off without your presence in the first place. But yet we fight and seek that approval. Do you know how much time we waste and that we wasted by doing that? That was one of the reasons why my last album was named A Long Short Way. And it wasn't a disrespect to our brothers and sisters, our ancestors. It was more just to say that a lot has been done, but more could have been done had we not spent so much time trying to love on people who seek nothing but destruction for you. So ask yourself that question, man. You know, because it exists on a lot of levels. It exists in a macrocosm, and it exists in certain microcosms in our life as well. We're seeking approval from people who are going to hate us no matter what we do. And again, it could be individuals or it can be a system. So leave y'all comments below. Tell me what y'all think about that. Some people subscribe to the love your enemy theory, because I know a lot of people say, well, you know, you're supposed to love. The Bible says love your enemy. You're supposed to love your enemy. When in reality, that term itself, man, it's a contradiction. If I love him, he can't be my enemy. I may be his, he may feel a certain way about me, but either way it goes, that's just not something that's naturally in me or in us to do. And it's a dangerous game to play. It's a dangerous game to play. To try to love an enemy. He's called an enemy for a reason. So think on that for a minute before we get caught up in that particular sickness, because in my opinion it is a form of sickness to go out of our way to do that. So much more productive things can be manifested if we take that energy and utilize it towards self-upliftment. We're spinning our wheels trying to love the hate out of somebody. But I'm always willing to listen to y'all's opinions and interested in what y'all got to say, whether we agree or we disagree. Leave your comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Keep your notifications on so you know when your big brother posts. And be looking for a new album coming out, A Blessing and a Burden. I'll be speaking on that real soon and doing a video centered around that title and letting y'all know what direction we'll be going on the project as well. Alright, man, it's your big brother K-Rino. Alright, man. Peace.